Good morning, my friends. This is Tanya from Sidekick Crafts. Today is going to be a fun day. I've been watching some inspirational videos. Now, this might look familiar to yesterday's video when we made this beauty. And I was thinking this was more my style than the bright, crisp, clean colors. What if we went grungier? What, my friends? Yes, what if we went grungier? I have been watching one of my favorite creators, known her since before she was with Tim Holtz's team, and I love her style. And I was watching one of her videos today, and she was going crazy with the little Harvey die cut, and I was thinking, I could totally grunge this up. I think we can. And I want to try it. And I want to see what we can come up with. Now, it might not be as grungy as something Louisa does because she's brilliant, first of all. And I've been saying that all along. But she's so brave with her creativity. I absolutely adore her. If you guys do not know Louisa Heinzel, go check her out. She does her videos in both English and German. And I'm telling you what, she has the most incredible style. You guys will love her. And she inspires me every single time I watch her videos. So Louisa, thank you for that. Because I think you're pretty darn incredible that way. So I want to go ahead and work on these. Now, I'm using the same die cut as yesterday, the same die set. So you'll find that information in the description box. I want to see about making these really, really grungy. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do this just yet. But I'm thinking we're going to start with gluing them together. So that's where we're going to start. I think it'll be easier to work with and a little sturdier to have them glued together. We're not using any foam today, so I'm not gonna do that, but definitely got plenty to work with. I think what I could have done, or just jab myself with my pen. Maybe put it on a layer of cardstock would be smart, because that would give me a sturdier base to grunge up. I think I will do that. Ouch. That pin is super sharp. Let's glue these on here first. So yeah, she did a totally grunged up Harvey, you know, the little soldier dude that we all made for Christmas last year. Oh my goodness, he's adorable. And I kept thinking, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. And you know what, of course, every time I'm telling her, no, 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 she's got this vision in her head of what these things are going to turn out, I think. And man, she's right on point. Every time I'm like, okay, I get it now. I get it. Don't do it. And then, oh yeah, I see that. So brave, you guys, so brave. So this die cut is from Temu, and I'll have all the information in the description box. I am loving this die. It's so simple. I mean, you cut out 3 of them, you glue them together, you glue them to make a card. Pretty simple, right? And yet it looks so intricate and fancy. It makes a beautiful card. And you guys, I'm going to just, put out there that if this card doesn't work, I might just post this anyway, because if I make a mistake or do something crazy, you know what? I'll share that information too. Why not? It's like, hey, this didn't work. I tried. Or maybe I just don't do it right. I don't know. We all make mistakes too. So if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. Hope you guys are having a great day. What is today? Today's Tuesday. It's a sunny day so far. I don't know if we're expecting rain or not. I haven't looked at the forecast. I just got up a little while ago and haven't even worried about it. We went to a Walmart and got a breakfast pizza yesterday. So Josie cooked that up this morning. And so we had breakfast pizza. I have to say it wasn't horrible. I'd probably buy it again. Maybe not all the time, maybe not every week for sure, but the crust was made with a biscuit, and it had gravy for the sauce. And then, if you guys have never had these things, and then it had sausage and scrambled eggs on top, and it said breakfast crumbles. I don't know what that means, but whatever. I just noticed the eggs and sausage, and it was okay. You know, it was all right. I'm not a super big fan of biscuits, so it was worth a try though. And like I said, I'd probably buy it again, but maybe not every week. Am I gluing the right one? Yes. I was thinking these pieces look awful thick. So we all had breakfast pizza for breakfast. Kids are all working. Josie and Chloe are working from home today. Josie's doing orientation for the new job. And I have to go to work in a while, working on some cup orders. Wanted to get a video out to you guys this morning. Been a bit distracted lately, but I need to get back on track. This is something I need to do for me. Gotta line that up the best that I can so the design comes through. God, that's beautiful. Feeling we should use some mixed media on this. Using the exact same papers. I wanted to use the same papers so that we could compare yesterday's to today's. Just show that, you know, different styles, different paper, or even the same papers with different style, they can all turn out different and hopefully equally beautiful. I know grunge isn't everybody's style. I don't always go total grunge, but I do like a little grunge, a little vintage, a little grunge. Love mixed media. There we go. Just dabbing it in there. I'm just putting little tiny bits. This glue doesn't take much, and you certainly don't want this seeping out. So just little dots here and there, just wherever it touches, and we're set. I think we're set. I kind of dropped that a little prematurely, but we can still adjust. It's not tapped down yet. This glue doesn't give you a lot of time to work with once it's touching, but as long as it's not totally in place, I think it can still work. There we go. I might need to trim this edge a little bit. Okay, now, since this is just scrapbook paper, I think I want to put that last back layer, the thickest one, I think it's this one. Let's just double check. Yep, it's this one, through a craft cardstock layer. Now, the question here is, I just bought some, we're going to put it right here. Why craft cardstock? Craft cardstock is really cool cardstock, and you can do some fun things with it. It's pretty sturdy. It's thicker. You can hear that. It's thicker. It's got a lot of weight to it, so you can really bang it up, and it's still going to work really well. It takes ink really well. You can scrape it up. You can do all kinds of fun things with it. So we're going to run this through super quick. like I said, these die cuts are working out really nicely. They're cutting really well. Let's see how it does through this cardstock. I'm expecting it. Yep, it did really, really well. Just the way I needed it to. When you start cutting these pieces out, you start getting little chunks of, well, this one I have a dip in my, I hope that's not a problem. Start stepping in these paper bits. Oh, see, now it didn't cut quite as well through the cardstock, but it still did. I'm going to use my scissors to get in there. Maybe my snippet scissors instead. I have a dip in my mat, and I think I probably should have shimmed it. Because everything else looks like it cut really well except in that dip. Hopefully these pieces will come out okay. And I won't have to get in there too much. I do have those nifty little tools that I got, those cutting tools from Temu. The little blades that might be helpful if I can't get them out. Doggone. Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't cut quite as well through here. Which is interesting. It went right through the foam yesterday, if you remember. But the cardstock was a little tougher. Probably, again, because of that dip, because most of it's coming out great. Just going to take a little effort. Which we would expect a little bit more from cardstock than... I probably should have ran it through one more time. Honestly, though, that's not a bad thing because I'm going to rough this up anyway. So if I have any little bits of torn edges, I'm going to glue the other pieces on top of this. So if I have a little bit of torn edges here and there, I think that's just going to lend to the grunge. And so that's fine. I mean, I don't want to go crazy with cut torn pieces, but little bits and shards aren't going to hurt anything. Little slivers of tornness. Making up words now. Is tornness a word? I don't know. So I've got to remember not to get on Facebook and read about my friends in the mornings before I get on here. I just read a post from one of my friends that one of her family members is ill, and now it's bugging me. So if I seem a little quiet, it's bugging me a little bit. So prayers go out to her and her family, because that's not fun. All right, so this little tool is perfect for this. Look, check that out. I don't even have to get my scissors in there. This is from Temu too. It comes in a set of all these colors. These are replaceable blades, and it just works like a little pen. It's a little tiny blade in there. You can hardly even see which way it's going. But yeah, that's great. That's perfect. I knew they'd come in handy for something. I gotta make sure the blade's going the right way or it won't cut, right? Okay. This is easier than an X-Acto knife for sure. Well, you gotta actually cut through. Should be able to feel the glass on the other side. See, I'm tearing up some of this, which is fine because I'm going to grunge it up anyway. This part. Now, I'll tell you what though, I'm not going to sit there and cut out all the pieces for that other piece because that's going to be too much. I'm hoping that those will pop out easier. That this is just a problem on this one. because that's just going to take forever. And I may abort the Cardstock if that's the case. Is it going to work? Ugh. It's going to drive me crazy. Okay, let me try this piece. I haven't given up yet, but I need some success here. I need to know if I need to abort. Don't give up. Don't give up. But you guys should all be yelling, don't give up. Get these pieces out. These are fine. So it's just that piece, and I think again there's a divot in my board because silly me, I still haven't ordered the new one. I keep talking about it, but I haven't ordered it yet. And this is where that would be a problem here too, is because this is in the same kind of general area as the other piece would have been. These are coming out relatively fine, so that's good. And again, I'm okay if it's got a little imperfections because where I tore them, because I'm going to grunge it up anyway. But I do want the holes out of there if I can. Maybe that's part of the imperfection. Maybe I leave those pieces in there. Let's do it. Let's leave them in there and see what happens. Why not? We'll leave this one too. Okay, because there's one more piece that just doesn't want to cooperate. So we'll just accept it as it is, and we'll move forward because we're going to be grungy. And I think it's going to be just fine. So let's glue, we're going to glue these on here. So there will be a couple pieces in there that will have the brown craft paper. And that's great, actually. As I pick it out, it'll be great. All right, because what's going to happen is it's going to pick up stain, or it'll pick up different media differently, and it'll just add interest. So we're going to leave it in there. It's an imperfection, and it's perfectly imperfect. Yeah, there we go. Perfectly imperfect. Let's go ahead and stick this one on here. I am far from a perfect creator. I do like things to be pretty and nice, but it don't have to be perfect. Can you guys see that little bit of paper that's poking up in there? I'm going to leave it. Oop, this piece might want to come out after all. Or not. Well, it's coming out now because it's halfway out. Those are stuck in there pretty good. This one's kind of halfway stuck in. I'm going to leave it alone. Alright, this one's got stuff sticking up. That's good. Okay. There we go. We'll just put some glue around there. Okay. Now it's stuck in there. There's a little grungy spot. That's okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, here's my thought. As this sits and dries and does its thing. Ooh, that's torn. you know, should I glue it down or should I leave it alone? There's the question. Leave it alone. We're grunging. We're grunging. Okay, so here's some thought. We can take this. We can go along this edge. Now, Louisa this morning in the video that I watched used some sandpaper, and even though I have some sandpaper, I don't think I remembered to bring it in here. So, scissors will also do a great distressed effect. A little differently than sandpaper would, but equally cool. It just kind of softens this edge up, makes it look not so brand new. I must have sandpaper in here. I must. I'm going to keep going with this, but I keep thinking there's got to be some, or a sanding block would be more likely, because I sand my tumblers in here sometimes. I probably left it in the other room. But you'd think, because I have sanding blocks all over the house, it seems like. So that's kind of cool. Now what I kind of like to do, I'm going to go back in some of these holes and kind of do the same thing. Not all of them, but just like, you know, if something had kind of gotten in here and rubbed them. And I'm just kind of going with the stack because that way it gets all the edges in that stack. Try to go different directions. I'm so curious how this is going to turn out. Some of these papers are kind of tearing up a little bit, and that's okay. That's great. Just really want to rough this up. Like I said, sandpaper would probably work easier, but being that I left it in the other room, I'm not going to stop and go get it. I kind of think I want to kind of fold this in, kind of. Tweak it a little, bend it up, make it look like something got in there and messed with it. This is cool. Okay, I hope you guys can see the difference. I know with the pattern it may be a little harder, but if we compare that piece to this piece, you can hopefully see a little bit of a difference. I'm not trying to go too crazy and destroy it, because then you kind of lose a little bit of the effect of the layers, but I do want it to look like it's been handled and damaged, because that's kind of the point. This would make a cute pocket in a journal, wouldn't it? I'm going to end up doing that with some of them. I'm going to have to make some more and make some pockets out of these. I think that's a great idea. Very decorative. Could add a piece of paper behind it to make the pocket, or just leave it the way it is so you can kind of see what's inside of it a little bit. I think that would be a cute idea. I think I'll be using this this die cut a bit before I put it away. Maybe one of my new favorites. just for the opportunities and ideas and ease, honestly. It's just so easy to make something cool out of it. Let's get all of these going this direction. Careful not to, ooh, this is easier. Maybe not. Maybe not. For some of the top layers it is, though. Takes a little while, but it's definitely a great effect. It's worth it. You can understand why without that craft paper back there behind it on the back side, this would probably be way too fragile to be this rough with it. Could probably use cardstock, but this is working out great. Especially with the added color. Alright, let's get some of these top pieces here. Just kind of jack them up. As my brothers used to say when we were kids, jack them up. Alright, what's next? We're going to do some distress ink on these. We'll do a little, we'll do some other stuff too. Cool, I ripped that part. That's great. That's awesome. Not ripping it on purpose, but if it's naturally ripping as I'm roughing it up, that's cool because it's going to add something different. Little piece of interest, you know. Little extra detail that is going to look like it's distressed. I think if I ripped all of them up, that would be just too rough. But there, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, now I think I'm going to go back. I didn't do quite as much scratchy on this one. I'm going to go back and get just a little bit of it on the top layers because it's not quite the same. It still looks a little fresh compared to the other. I wish I could sew thin enough to get in here and sew some of these details, but I cannot. That would be really cute. So still a really simple project. Takes a little more time, but anybody could do that. Looks a little more distressed. Now let's get in here. We're going to use some, I think I'm going to use this. So we can get into some of these corners. And I'm just going to use a light brown for this one. Just kind of get in there. Really easy to grunge that up. Make sure we get the edges really well. love it. Looks like an old quilt. And this piece is kind of cool too. Alright, but that can't be it. We got to do more. We're going Louisa on here. Alright. Let's do some more. Let's do... This is where I get nervous, because it's like, okay, well, how far do I go? Let's just do it, you guys. Let's see. Let's find a good color. Not purple. We need a dark. That's not very dark, but it might work. I think I want to do some of that eggshell. Is it eggshell or robin's egg? I've got a gray, which might be fun. I'm just looking for brown, which is funny because I don't think I have much brown. But you know what I could do? You know what I could do is potentially not, because my ink is not here either. Alright, so here's my thought. I've got my spritz bottle, my water bottle. And I've got, well, let's see if my heat gun is plugged in. I'm hoping. I may have unplugged it because I've got fish now. I unplugged it, but I'm going to plug it because I've got my lamp here, so I still can do it. Got some conveniently inconvenient locations to plug things up in here. Alright, so I think we can use that. Excellent. That is available for working. Whew, here's where I get nervous, you guys. Okay. Why? It's something different, you know? This one has mica in it. Do I want this one? I think I do want this one just a little bit. I think what I want to do is just kind of touch the edges here in different places. Just kind of put a little here and there. And then kind of spray this. Kind of let it do its thing. What do you guys think so far? A little bit different for me, little different technique, right? I think it's really kind of cool though. Let's just kind of dab that around. Like something got spilled on here. Maybe go up in this corner a little. My Temu towels that I've been talking about. These are fantastic. Look at how quick it absorbs. Love it. Super soft. Okay. So those, let's go ahead and close that up. And then I'd like to use, this one is Speckled Egg. She's getting grungy. Just kind of drop that in there, maybe. want some of that color in there. This one too. This is a little easier to get the ink where you want it when you dab it on that way, as opposed to spraying it on there. Spraying it would probably get too much. We can even go in with our towel and dab some of that back if it's too much in there. And let's go back in. This is so cool. Let's go back in with this one. Some of these papers are getting really wet, so I'm going to try to be a little careful. This one is so colorful right now. Get that craft paper. This is a good time when this craft paper is wet. Is a really great time to mess with it and curl it up and whatever you're going to do with it. Okay, should we dry it and see how it looks? See what happens. I feel like I still want some more of this black on there. I don't feel like I got quite enough. It's the one that spread the most too, which is interesting. I think it's okay on the smaller piece. Alright, so we use the same papers as yesterday's card. We're getting a totally different look today. I can't wait to show you guys side by side. I keep peeking over at the other one. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so different. It's so neat. Alright, let's dry this. Look how this part, it looks rusted. It's just paper, you guys. And you can see some of it is lifted. It's just totally textural now. And it's still fairly wet. But what I want to do is come back in here and get some of these edges just a little more. I might have to use my dauber to get the edges back distressed color if they come up a little differently, but just want it to be a little rougher here at the edges. Let's try tapping it. Being a little more gentle this time. As you can see, the pieces are curling up, and that is cool too. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Peel that up a little bit. Maybe this side will do it too. A little bit. Nice. Might have to dab some color in there so it's not white. Yeah, just make it look worn. I'm thinking about all the people that I would send cards to. It's like, who's going to be able to appreciate this and not think I just sent them a piece of junk? That's so cool. The colors have seeped inside. So cool. I'm going to even rip up a little bit here. Why not? Nice. Okay. This is fun. It's kind of freeing too, to be able to tear your paper and have imperfections and be like, it's supposed to be like that. It's cool. Oops, now that one looks more rustic than this one does. So let's kind of get into this one and make a mess of it. So Louisa used the term today, her fingernail tool. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. I love it. So I'm using my fingernail tool today. I'll just kind of scrunch some of these pieces. This one's pretty dry on this side, so it's not going to do it so much. My fingernail tool is perfect for some of this. Alright, now what I want to do with those, I think I'm going to go back in with this black. We're going to get these, we're going to soak this just a little bit more. Get these colors in there. I think I want the brown too, because that's the one that looked like rust. So we're going to get the brown one out as well. Put a few more bits where it will make a difference. Put that on my finger. Let's get this one in there. As you start to play with these colors, you do start to know, a little bit more what they do. And when they're mixed together, what they do. And that's kind of neat. Get these in the edge. Where I peeled up, I want this edge too, because this is plain blue. Where else did I peel it up? This is really, really neat, you guys. I wish you could see it in person. It looks so much better. Alright, I'm going to spray this lightly once again. Let those colors do their thing. I say lightly, I mean heavy. Oops, I forgot this spot right here. Need something there for sure. Now you might wonder why I bothered using pretty paper if I was going to do all this, but the point is that I wanted to show you can use your papers in so many different ways and get such different results. And a lot of the color from those original papers is still showing through. I don't use it often enough. I forget how it works. Alright, so what are we going to do with this? We're going to make a card, just like yesterday. I'm probably not going to use these on here because actually it looks kind of cool, huh? But I don't have the round-shaped one like I did yesterday. I don't think these will work out very well. So I'm not going to do that part, but it might be cute. I wonder if I could put one of my watercolor birds on there, but that would be cute on there. I think they're too bright. He's not too bright. He's kind of cute. These guys are too bright though, huh? No, actually he's kind of cute too. Could put both of them on there in a little sentiment. Be kind of fun. Bring it back to whimsical. Okay, Okay, so my card needs to be, I'm going to turn this one over so you guys can't see, 4, let's see, 10, 9.5 by 6. That sounds right. I'll show you guys the difference in just a bit. I can't wait to show you the difference in the cards. Remember, we're using the same die cuts, we're using the same papers, just different technique. Different technique, and it's pretty staggering, the difference, as I'm sure you can already imagine. All right, now this one, though, I don't know, yeah, you know what, I should just do it. I was going to say, I don't know if I'm going to put that pretty paper behind it, but I still have it. I had it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't have that piece left, but I thought I did. There it is. It's right here. So this is the piece that was behind the other one. Maybe, I think I'm going to go ahead and use it still. And we're just going to glue this here. We're going to grunge the edges, but I'm going to glue this down first. I'm going to keep it a little bit bright in the back so that it shows through. Because it needs to contrast, but I will be distressing the edges as well. This paper feels so fragile now, even though it's so thick. There we go. Press that down. Okay. Press it. Still want to fit that nice and tight in there. And I can do this with scissors. I think I can. Trim this part up just a tad. Now what are we going to do with this edge? I am, again, going to take my scissors. Rough it up. Alright, you guys, I don't know why my camera shut off. I'm still learning how to use this thing, but I wanted to make sure I came and showed you the gorgeousness of this card. I'm hoping this is doing it justice. It's got some texture. Look at that. I hope it's even focusing. I can't tell. But this is the card from yesterday. So which do you prefer? the grunge or not to grunge? That is the question. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys will come back and join in, like, share, thumbs up, comment, all the things, help my channel out, and you guys create. Everybody has a different style and each can be appreciated. Once again, these are the same papers I used yesterday. Just added some touches, some details, some grunge, some stains, some scraping up. You can see the edges on there. And this is the clean cut, simple version. Same papers. Of course I added the flower to it, but same paper just glued together. Both beautiful in their own way. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.